Hey guys, welcome back to USARP, or the USARP at YouTube. And today we're back in the train room just for a quick model train update. I've gotten a few new engines, which is one right here. And just a few things about model trains that I think are pretty important, so let's get started. My first new engine, which you should have seen if you're following me on Instagram or anything, I've got a few pictures of it. It's a Broadway Limited J1D New York Central Hudson. And you can probably tell it's got quite a bit of smoke in it. The smoke is synchronized with the sound and chuff. And it's a loud engine as well. So I'll just show you the whistle and bell, and then I'll show you my next new engine. So this is actually one of 3 new engines I recently got. I just haven't had the time to give any engine a full review, and I did have one full review for each engine, and I actually found something wrong with every single one of them, so I didn't think I'd take the time to do yet another review, mostly because I didn't have the time, and also, you guys don't watch my model train videos as much anyway, so why even bother, really? So my next new engine is a CSX engine, which you'll probably be surprised about. So this is my next new engine, and once again, if you're following me on Instagram, you'll know that I've had this for a few weeks. Same with the New York Central, and just to mention this, that last engine, the New York Central, was made by Broadway Limited, and I got it pretty cheap compared to their price at Silver City Hobby. Just to give a quick shout out to Silver City Hobby, they're a real great place. You can actually get quite a few models for quite a bit less than the MSRP. I got the Broadway Limited for $270, and I believe the Broadway Limited is asking $400 for it. So you save quite a bit there, $130. Better than nothing. So this engine here, the CSX SD70M, is 4688 Spirit of Tampa, and I did not buy it brand new because it was a lot cheaper. And first of all, before I mention the price and all of that, you're probably wondering why I got a CSX engine. Speaking, I have old Pennsylvania Railroad stuff, Reading Lines engines, a New York Central engine, and all that. But even though I am definitely focusing on the transition period from steam to diesel, which is the mid-50s, 1950s, I do want about 5 or 6 modern trains. So I picked up this, likely for a tank train, a unit tank train. And this tank train will be accompanied with this, probably a BNSF Gevo, and Intermountain recently released SD40s, which I will probably have on that tank train. I'm not sure which railroad, but it will be an SD40 likely. So that's really the reason I got this, and I'll just show you the horn and bell once again on this one. So I got this used for $100. I'm pretty sure it's made by Athearn or something. I do know CSX1 and 4 has one. I'll have to ask him who made it. I wouldn't say it's Bachmann because the sound is too nice. And if you're familiar with Bachmann, you would know that they don't have the best sound. It's a Tsunami sound decoder, so probably not Bachmann once again. And it's got, being used, it's got its little issues. It's got one ditch light, the handrails are broken at some ends, the backlight doesn't work, and only one front headlight works because there are two bulbs and only one works. So that's a little issue, but that's about it. And now I'll show you the third recent engine, and then I'll wrap up engines, and I'll throw another few things at you. And here is the last engine I'll be showing you guys today. It's DC, you can probably tell, but it is equipped with DCC Quick Plug-in. It's an 8-pin plug, which I would like to have sound in it, but I haven't found an 8-pin plug for this specific diesel with sound. But do let me know if you know a place that would have a, I believe it's a Fairbanks Morris engine. If you know your Pennsylvania locomotive types and road numbers, let me know what it is, and please let me know if you know where they'd have a sound decoder. That's a plug-in, because I don't prefer to have my father spend all that time installing a actual decoder that's not plug-in. So aside from that, this is a Pennsylvania Fairbanks Morris, which I've already pointed out, number 8701, and it's actually facing backwards, believe it or not. The side to the left definitely looks like the back, but it isn't, so that's another little odd thing about this engine. That's really about it for this engine. It's DC, so there's no sounds to show you. It runs pretty smooth, it's got a lot of weight to it. I got this from the NMRA show, the National Model Railroad Association, a few weeks ago for $50, probably not brand new. There was one for $80 with the DCC installed, but I didn't have $80, so I spent $50, and I'll just get a decoder. Once again, let me know where you can find sound Fairbanks Morris 8-pin plug decoders. Now, with all three of these engines, I've mentioned that you can find pictures or videos of them on my Instagram, and I highly recommend following me there if you have one, because I post pictures first of the videos that you see on YouTube, and I post pictures of these or videos of these the day I get them, so you can kind of see what to expect on my channel. So, just recently, before I tell you that, I will point out that I do take the videos on my phone at like night when it's too dark to take pictures, because I take pictures, as you guys know, and there has been some confusion as to when pictures were taken. I've gotten questions, when was this, and if the picture has my watermark at the USARP_YouTube, I'm posting that from home, because when I get home I take the pictures through a small editing process to sharpen them a little and crop them a little bit, and then I go over to my iPhone, because I email them to myself, and then I edit them even more on my phone. So when the pictures will have at the USARP_YouTube, that's like several days after the trip, and just to let you know when these pictures are taken. So before we completely wrap up with engines, I always like to show you guys the engines at full speed, which is what I'll do right now. So first engine at full speed will be the Broadway Limited Hudson. So that was the Broadway Limited Hudson at full speed. And you probably noticed that the smoke really starts to come out when you have the engine at full speed. So if you're having trouble getting the smoke out, I would just put the engine to full speed. And now I'll show you the supposedly Athearn SD70 Mac at full speed. So that was all three engines at full speed. And now just a few more pieces of news and then we'll wrap up the video. So the last piece of news today, or at least it should be the last, actually it's not. But anyway, I've got lots and lots of boxes back here, which you probably noticed in the video, and I got some rolling stock and engine just sitting around. Well, basically, the deal with these engines is they're, engines and rolling stock, I should say, is they're for sale. And I was going to do a full video on every single piece of rolling stock, but I figured out how many pieces I'm actually going to be selling and how long that video would be. And you probably noticed my shorter videos don't get pixelation for some reason. But I figured since I show you point details out and all that. But anyway, I just didn't think it would be worth it. So and like I said earlier, you guys don't really watch my model train videos, but I thought I'd point them out here just to show you basically how much is for sale. I will bring out a few select items, and I'll just point out, you can kind of see behind the station there an Amtrak F7, at least in the foreground. That's all that's for sale. You can probably see my Proto Smoke, which obviously I need. You can see that Conrail engine, this New York Central passenger car. That's not for sale. I need that. I'm keeping that stuff. You can probably see the front end of what looks like to be a Daylight, which it is. That is for sale. And I'll show you a little bit more of what is. So here you can kind of get a better look at that chassis system Daylight. It is 2101. And if any of you guys are a chassis fan, you know the 2101 was a 484, but not this kind of 484. It was a different look to it. That Santa Fe boxcar you can ignore because I need that. Well, I mean, I don't need it, but I am keeping it. There's really only a few things to ignore in this shot. Obviously, again, the Conrail, just ignore that. Don't get attached to it. And, the other Conrail, which is little blue engine, you can probably tell it's behind the main central, which I am keeping. Sorry, Conrail fans, I've got stuff, but I want it. The two main central Jeeps, however, they are for sale. I will bring those out, get you a better shot of them. One is a dummy, and one is powered. I did weather both of them with different methods. On, I believe, the dummy, I believe it is, I used a paint method. I just used, like, watercolors, and I just kind of painted up the engine. On the powered engine, I believe, which is on the right, if I'm correct, that's the powered engine. I used a marker method. It's just I believe it's a marker. But I just used a brown magic marker and I kind of colored on the engine. Now you're probably thinking it won't look too good, but it doesn't look the best, but it is okay. So those are three engines, the Daylight, fictional Daylight, and the two Jeeps that are for sale. And on the far right, you can probably see that silver passenger car. It is an Amtrak Bud car. And I did mention earlier, and we'll have some modern concepts, and Amtrak is modern, but it's the paint scheme that I don't really want. These cars are what I'm pretty sure is Phase 5, which is the current phase, or Phase 4, which is still pretty recent. Now, I do want modern consists, but not entirely extremely modern. For Amtrak, I'm looking for Phase 3 equipment, which is really about the 1990s, from what I can understand, the 1990s. So I do have one Phase 3 car. It's an Amfleet, so I need, about 7 or 8 more of those, and then a few Viewliners and baggage cars, and then 2 P-42s. So, if you guys know where I can get some good Phase 3 Amtrak equipment, do let me know. I'm pretty satisfied with what I have for Amfleet coaches, so I know where I'm going to get those. So, you don't need to let me know where I can find those cars, but I would appreciate if you guys let me know where I can find Phase 3 Viewliners, baggage cars, and P-42s. That would be appreciated. And, moving on now to what's also for sale. Now everything's kind of in a cluster because I only have a 4x8 layout, and along with my track and industries, can't really fit everything into a wide open space. But I'll give you an idea as to what's in the boxes. The probably most noticeable box is the one pretty much in the center of the screen, the Athearn box with the non-Athearn bottom. It's the white bottom. Pretty sure what's in there is a pretty modern tank car along with a few box cars, 40 foots I think. And then behind that I have something that you guys might like. It's a lifelike set, and it's the NASCAR set. I took away the track, but all the cars are there, the engine's there. And the engine is equipped with a KD coupler, and then what I would consider the first car has one KD coupler and one knuckle coupler. So I only did that just so I could pull the set with my other engines. And now it's come to the time where I don't really want it. Could it be valued at more than what I'm asking? Very likely. I'm pretty sure I'm asking $35 for it. Since this isn't really an old set, I think they're still selling them. But if they aren't selling them, I'll definitely ask more. Please let me know if 35 is a little low, because I would like to get some more money for it. Let me know everything down below in the comments. Let me know on the price. Let me know where to find Phase 3 equipment and all that. Don't know what else there is for you guys to let me know, but if there is, I'll tell you. And in the back there, we have another piece of equipment that you can't really see, but it's another piece that might be valued a lot more than I'm asking. I'll bring it out just to show you guys what it is. So the story on how I got this pretty interesting engine is really kind of weird. I got it from a friend who had it for some reason. He didn't want it, so I took it. And now, of course, I don't want it. It's a French National Railways SNCF 462 Pacific. And as cool and as neat, and I very well could just keep it for a railroad museum section of the layout. I don't want it. I do have several pieces that will be in the railroad museum, but this isn't one of them. I'm pretty sure I'm asking about 15 for it. I forget what I listed, but it's probably 10. And the reason it's so low is because it's absolutely never going to run again, from what I can tell. It is tender powered, so the engine is not connected very well, but it's very free rolling, as you probably saw there. But the tender is just in pretty bad shape. You could very well take it apart and maybe even make your own tender for it so it connects also. But I don't want it. If you want to give me more than $10 for it, I wouldn't mind at all. So that's that. I'll bring out a few more pieces to show you guys what's for sale, and then we'll wrap up the video. So like I said, I'd bring out the main central engines, and here they are. And probably right off the bat you notice that the first engine on the left is missing the truck cover in the back right side. And I figured I'd show you that because I don't like to really hide anything. I like to be open about what's wrong with the certain pieces of equipment. Also, like I said, I mentioned that last engine will probably never run again. So, I just like to be open about what you guys are getting if you plan to buy. I know a few, I've experienced with modelers who have hidden stuff, and I've ended up wasting not too much money, but a fair amount. So, I do like to tell you guys what's wrong, so you're not wasting money. Now, for the pair, which, one is powered, which is the one on the left, and one is the dummy, the one on the right. I'm pretty sure I listed these at $25. That's starting to sound more and more high to me than it was before, but I still don't know. Once again, all this money I'm making is going to go towards better engines, so that when you guys watch my model train videos, when I have the big layout, you can see nice looking engines and all that. So not too much of advantage to you guys, but that's really the main reason I'm selling stuff, because I'm doing a major equipment upgrade. I've got a lot of rolling stock and engines that aren't my era, or they aren't my railroad, like these here. Now, there are a few select items that you've probably seen in one or two videos, I'm not sure. But one of them being my first engine, which I'm definitely keeping, and a few other things. So, not everything that isn't CSX or whatever is for sale, but a lot of it is. So, that's really just a side note on that. And for the main centrals, back to those, they are numbered 354 and 353. Or no, 334 and 353. So if you don't have those numbers, you can add them to your roster today for $25. And that's about it for these. They each have the logos on the nose, which I think you can kind of see on the front engine. The one on the left, I should say. And you probably noticed the cab on the back engine has a horn but no logo, and the one on the front has the logo but no horn. So they each have their little differences. The weathering is different, and the back one's weathered a lot more. I might go over the one on the front to give it more the effect I did on the back one, because I do like how that came out. If I could only remember how I did that. So, if you guys decide to order these, the one on the left might come looking like the back one, or, I might leave them like this, I'm not sure yet. But now on to another piece of equipment that's for sale, and there's going to be a lot of pictures as to what's for sale also at the end. But I'm only bringing out a few items just to show you what they really look like. And then once again, pictures will be at the end. So the third piece of feature equipment, you could say, is that Chassis System 2101. And probably this part will be audio only, so I can show you the actual 2101. And it's not this. As you can see on the screen right now, I've got a picture of it up. And now we're back to this, and it's not really not Chassis System 2101, it's fictional. It's meant to look like the daylight, which it does, but it's not the daylight that I want. So, maybe you younger modelers who were like me, who want everything that there is on the railroad market, model railroad market, you might want this, but I surely don't. I'm getting to that point where I know what I'm going to model, and I know I'm definitely going to model that. And this isn't it. So, Chassis System 2101 is listed for a fair price. I don't have my computer out right now. It's saving a rail fanning video, so I don't want to I don't want to strain it any more than it is, but pretty sure I listed this at $20, 25. So that just about is all there is to this engine. It's fairly good at running. I'm pretty sure it's a Bachmann, and I will point out that in my past, the Bachmann 484s, which is what these are, have had a large tendency to lock up. I've got, I think, 3 of them that have locked up because of the linkage and the way they're made. I guess my highest assumption is that Bachmann made the linkage pieces too big or too small, so they caused to lock up. So if you guys get this engine and it locks up, my apologies for that. I'm sorry, but it's not my fault. But yeah. So the chassis system didn't have this. They didn't have daylights, but it's a really neat piece. I think it is pretty cool. It wouldn't fit in my railroad museum because it's not real. But that's about it. You got all your little details that are pretty neat. I kind of like how they stick out, the pop-up valve and the whistle. They really look kind of neat, but once again, it's not for me. Now you probably notice just about below where the tender and engine are connected, you probably see this little black piece in my little supposedly river. It will be better later. The river will be better, but that is the tender connection that fits on the engine, and it came off because I actually got the engine and tender stuck together, and then I did manage to get them uncoupled, but then that came off. So it does glue on pretty well. I've been using tacky glue several times, and it just hasn't worked. So I do have contact cement, but I don't know where it is. So I think when I ship this out, that will be enclosed in a little plastic bag so you don't lose it. And it's pretty self-explanatory as to how it connects to the engine itself. So you guys can contact cement that, model glue it, whatever you want. But I just don't have the right thing to glue it on. And now to probably the last piece of stuff I'll actually take out. So for the last piece of equipment, this is another lifelike engine, and probably right off the bat you can tell because of the quality. No offense to lifelike fans or the company, but, well, they aren't the best. So that's why I'm selling this engine. It's a Santa Fe number 100. Supposedly fictional, but I don't know. I'll have to look at their roster for diesel engines. I do know a place. If it's real or not, I will put something in the video letting you guys know, because I will find out, probably after I'm done producing this video. Detail-wise, it's not the best. As you can tell, if you're familiar with, lifelike, it's not the best detailing-wise. Running-wise, also not the best. And one of the things I don't like about their engines is that if you take enough weight and push down, and it's derailed, but you can kind of hear the motor moving. It doesn't take much to get the motor going. Oh, here it is again. So that's kind of something that isn't very good. Even there, I didn't really put any force on it, and it still manages to do that. So that just about wraps up the video. As I was saying before about the Santa Fe F40, it's not the best detail. I did install KD couplers on it, not the horn hooks, which is what it comes with. If you want to change it back, it's fairly easy to put the old kind of couplers in. I won't include them because I don't have them. I just get rid of them, I don't need them. So that's about it. Once again, like I said, there will be pictures at the end of what's also for sale. And that's just about it. So thank you for watching. last piece of news is a Norfolk Southern Harrisburg line trip, which is definitely happening. We've already booked our hotel room. 4 days on the Harrisburg line. We're leaving early Thursday morning, I believe August 6th. August 6th, can't really say that, but 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. It might be the 7th to the 10th. I know it's 4 days. So we'll be leaving like around 6, get there around 8:30, and start rail fanning. We're not staying at the Ridgeview Hotel in Marysville, which a lot of you guys are probably familiar with, and reason being is that it's $150 a night to stay there. So definitely a bit much. So we aren't staying there. We are staying in Harrisburg, actually. So we're closer to all the action in Harrisburg. But however, the shot at the Ridgeview is very nice. So me and Josh and my father will probably spend a majority of the day at that hotel, near it at least, but we won't be staying there. So that's just to mention that trip coming at the beginning of August. A while back, me and Josh went out to the River Sub for his birthday, and we haven't been back since. And we might not be back for a long time. So we've been trying to get down there to the River Sub. We've gone to the Mohawk Sub a few times, but the River Sub has just been kind of in the background picture. Not really a planned date yet, but that's definitely going to happen soon. Also, the Conrail Shared Assets line is another place that isn't really coming up anytime soon, but I have looked at Bound Brook, New Jersey, and I want to get down there sometime soon, possibly this summer, but we're not sure yet. And that will probably be a 2-day, 3-day trip, not 4 days. So, definitely a Berkshire Sub day trip probably will be coming up very soon. But that's really all I can say. I might very likely go back out to the Mohawk Sub in upstate New York, but really only definite trips are the Harrisburg line at the beginning of August, a Berkshire Sub Saturday trip, and very likely Mohawk Sub sometime soon. So that's about it, and here are those pictures of those model trains that are for sale. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. actually, before we wrap up the movie, just a shot of what I do have. But anyway, in the future, I will probably be doing a camera upgrade. My Nikon I'll probably keep, but my filming camera recently, actually this last trip, took a nosedive, and I lost part of the lens. Nothing, absolutely nothing vitally important. Actually, it wasn't important in any way. But I do want a new camera. That's not the reason. I want a new film camera mostly because of the night pictures, or image I should say, and just for a little bit better quality of videos. That's really the only reason. My film picture camera, I should say, I don't think I'll be upgrading that for a while. It's the D3000, which I've heard is pretty old. I know they already have the D6000, I'm pretty sure. So I might be upgrading that next year, I don't know. So that's about it. And this is what I do have. And I don't have many fancy boxes. I don't have the big red Broadway Limited boxes. Only 2 of those. And there will be more of those in the future, but that's really what I've got right now. So as you can see, I want to sell a lot of it. So thank you for watching, and those were the pictures of what's for sale. I hope you guys found something that you'll enjoy, and the prices were in there. So I hope you enjoy if you plan to buy anything. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned.